Today, we're diving into something that might feel a little counterintuitive. We're going to look at the hard data behind kindness in the workplace, because it turns out it's not just a nice to have, it's a serious business strategy for growth. So let's jump right in. Look, I get it. In this high-pressure, results-driven world, you might be thinking, kindness? Really? Isn't that a little soft? Is it a luxury we can't afford when we're all about hitting targets and boosting the bottom line? It's a totally fair question. But here is the twist. The data, the actual numbers, tell a completely different story. They show that kindness isn't a weakness at all. It's actually one of the sharpest competitive advantages you can possibly have. And we're going to unpack exactly why. So let's just bust this myth right here, right now. The myth is that kindness means you're a pushover, that you avoid tough conversations. Nope. The reality is that it's a strategic move to build a stronger, more valuable, more resilient company. It isn't about being nice, it's about being smart. And just so we're all on the same page, let's define what we're talking about. Business kindness is really about intentionally creating an environment where every single person feels valued, heard, and supported. The whole thing is built on respect and empathy. And this isn't some fluffy, abstract idea. We're talking about concrete actions. Things you can actually do, like actively listening instead of just waiting for your turn to talk, or giving real constructive feedback. These are trainable skills that build a better workplace, period. And Maya Angelou just nails it with this quote, right? It's that feeling of being respected, of being seen, that translates directly into tangible business results. It's not magic, it's human nature. So let's look at the numbers that really prove this out.
First up, let's look inside the building. How does this culture of kindness actually make the engine run better? How does it drive performance from the inside out?
All right, get ready for this number, 56%. That's how much more productive employees are when they feel genuinely valued and respected at work. That's not a small bump. That is a massive leap in performance. And you can see it right here. We're not talking about a tiny little edge. The performance gap between someone who feels valued and someone who doesn't, it's a chasm. The takeaway is crystal clear. Feeling valued is like rocket fuel for output. But it doesn't stop there. It's a 1-2 punch. In these respectful, psychologically safe environments, turnover drops by a whopping 67%. You keep your best people. And at the same time, because people feel safe to take risks and share wild ideas, you get 76% more innovation. And listen, this isn't just theory. We're talking about giants like Google and Salesforce. They've literally built kindness and empathy into how they measure performance. They know it leads to better teams and happier employees, and they've got the success to prove it. Okay, so kindness works wonders inside the company. Got it. But that's only half the story, because what happens inside a company never stays inside a company. It radiates outward and becomes this incredible engine for customer loyalty. So now let's talk about the customer. And the big number you got to remember here is 73%. That's the percentage of customers who stick with a brand for one simple reason: friendly, empathetic service. In a world full of choices, that's your secret weapon. And this is where empathy is basically a superpower. Sure, it keeps happy customers loyal, but check this out. When a customer has a problem, handling it with empathy can boost your chances of keeping them by 40%. You're not just solving a complaint, you're building an even stronger relationship. I mean, just think about legendary brands like Zappos or Ritz-Carlton. Their entire reputation is built on this. They weren't just selling products or services, they were selling an experience of being genuinely cared for. And that turned their customers into their biggest fans, their most powerful marketing team. All right, the case is clear. The why is obvious. But what about the how? How do you actually put this into practice? Well, this next part is your playbook. Simple, actionable things you can start doing, like today. And the beauty of this is how simple it is. We're not talking about some massive, expensive corporate initiative. We're talking about small, everyday habits. A sincere and specific thank you, 5 minutes of real listening. These tiny actions create huge ripple effects over time. And this leads to maybe the most important mindset shift of all. Kindness isn't just a personality trait. It's not something you're born with or not. It's a professional skill. And just like any other skill, it can be taught, it can be practiced, and you can get better at it. So let's bring this all home. When you add it all up, The productivity, the retention, the innovation, the customer loyalty, the conclusion is just undeniable. Investing in a culture of kindness gives you one of the best returns on investment you can get. Think about it like a flywheel. You invest in kindness, which attracts and keeps the best talent. That amazing, happy talent then delivers incredible service that turns your customers into loyal advocates. And that success fuels even more investment in your culture. It's a powerful, self-sustaining cycle of growth. So I'll leave you with this final thought. What if we just stopped calling kindness a soft skill and started treating it like a KPI, a key performance indicator? What could you and your organization achieve if you started measuring success by how you make people feel?